everyone on Earth could live a good life while also living within the planet's means. But if humanity continues on its current path, it will be impossible to achieve this goal. That's according to new research by Leeds University that found no country in the world currently meets its citizens' needs at a sustainable level of resource use. The study also found high standards of living for all the world's inhabitants would require up to 6 times as many resources as the planet can provide. But while a high life is unsustainable, there is a way for everyone to meet good standards of living, and doing so could help save the planet. Researchers at Leeds University looked at the 11 necessary ingredients of a well-lived existence. These included basic needs such as an income of at least 85p, $1.90 per day, of life expectancy of at least 65, electricity and enough food to eat. Others were social goals, such as employment, a good network of friends and family and the ability to live in a democracy. The researchers also considered the cost to the planet of achieving these needs. They divided this into 7 categories such as CO2 emissions, water use and the use of natural resources such as nitrogen. The mapping showed that no country performed well on both the planetary and social thresholds because, in general, as a country achieves more social goals, it more likely exceeds planetary boundaries. Each country's resource use and well-being achievements are available as a website built by the academics involved in the study, allowing users to compare and contrast each country's resource use. Almost everything we do, from having dinner to surfing the internet, uses resources in some way, but the connections between resource use and human well-being are not always visible to us, says Dr. Daniel O'Neill, the lead author of the study and a researcher with the Sustainability Research Institute at Leeds. We examine international relationships between the sustainability of resource use and the achievement of social goals, and found that basic needs, such as nutrition, sanitation, and the elimination of extreme poverty, could most likely be achieved in all countries without exceeding global environmental limits. Unfortunately, the same is not true for other social goals that go beyond basic subsistence such as secondary education and high life satisfaction. Meeting these goals could require a level of resource use that is 2 to 6 times the sustainable level. Out of roughly 150 countries studied, Austria, Germany and the Netherlands provide their citizens with all 11 items on the list, according to a report in the Los Angeles Times. Denmark, Australia, Belgium, Finland, France, Japan, and Sweden provide 10 out of 11, and the United States and Canada provide 9. But none can do so sustainably, and all meet only a few of 7 environmental requirements. The US meets none of its sustainability goals. Only 16 countries in the study met all 7 environmental goals. Our results suggest that some of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, such as combating climate change and its impacts, could be undermined by the pursuit of other goals, particularly those focused on growth or high levels of human well-being, says co-author Dr. Andrew Fanning, also from the Sustainability Research Institute. The country with the best balance is Vietnam, the researchers claim. Vietnam meets 6 of its 11 social goals, but it meets all but one sustainability goal. The country with the worst balance is Swaziland, which is as unsustainable as China, South Korea and the United Kingdom. "35 countries out of the 150 only meet one or none of the 11 necessities for a good life." The study builds on research by the Stockholm Resilience Center that identified 9 environmental processes that regulate the planet and proposed safe planetary boundaries for each. Although wealthy nations like the US and UK satisfy the basic needs of their citizens, they do so at a level of resource use that is far beyond what is globally sustainable, said co-author Dr. William Lamb from the Mercator Research Institute on Global Commons and Climate Change, MCC. In contrast, countries that are using resources at a sustainable level, such as Sri Lanka, fail to meet the basic needs of their people. Co-author Dr. Julia Steinberger, from the School of Earth and Environment at Leeds, said, "Radical changes are needed if all people are to live well within the limits of the planet." These include moving beyond the pursuit of economic growth in wealthy nations, shifting rapidly from fossil fuels to renewable energy, and significantly reducing inequality. Our physical infrastructure and the way we distribute resources are both part of what we call provisioning systems. If all people are to lead a good life within the planet's limits, then these provisioning systems need to be fundamentally restructured to allow for basic needs to be met at a much lower level of resource use.